You are listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense. Hello and welcome to Radio Nonsense, the official Comedy Club for Kids podcast that's suitable for all ages from to and everything in between. I'm Tiernan and listeners, it is toasty warm at Comedy Club for Kids HQ this week. Just listen. Yep, that's another bit of wild bread just turning into toast out in the fields due to all of this sunshine. And you can hear the eggs growing in the trees just frying away. I'm fine though, because I'm here with my biggest fan.
Hello, I'm Gordon.
Yeah, that's Gordon. He's a giant, and every time I feel too hot, he does this.
I'm going to eat a mint now.
That's much better. Thanks, Gordon.
Anytime. I love mints.
Now I'm all cooled down, I wonder what's in the mailbag this week. Now this is from Potato Lord Ben, who says, "This is Comedy Club for Myths. You are stealing our listeners. This is outrageous. We will eat all your avocados until you give them back." Ugh, Comedy Club for Myths. Give it a break, Potato Lord Ben. But you know what? I do like my avocados, even the ones that are actually potatoes painted green. So I guess you win this time. Oh, Gordon, you've got to go home. I'm sorry. But you are a giant, and therefore you must be a listener to Comedy Club for Myths.
Oh, rubbish. I guess I'll have to go back to eating people who climb up beanstalks instead. Ugh.
Sorry. Ugh. And how am I going to keep cool now? I wonder if the next message will help. Rrr. Teetings grin and Kawarapoo raw 57 stinky flying monkeys. From Eduardo. Ah, great. Well, that's not going to help at all, is it? Oh, brilliant. Now it's just full of stinky flying monkeys. I'm just even more warm and smelly. All right, what about this letter? Awesome, nice says, "My grotty bleater thinks it's ridiculous, but I think it has just enough stinky hippos." I hope you mean no stinky hippos, right? Awesome, nice. There aren't any anymore, and that is the last thing I need right now in this very hot weather. Oh, I see, you've sent me two. Thanks. Oh. One owlet in Canada says on Spotify, "Kitty witty. No, I don't need any more animals. I'm too warm. That's the last thing I..." Oh, well, look, it's so hot now without Gordon, and it's also full of animals, some of which are definitely very stinky. So I'm going to have to figure out some other way of staying cool. But, you know, thanks for your messages anyway. I always enjoy them, even when they're sort of just bullying ones from Comedy Club for Myths or sending me horrible stinky animals on a very warm day. But, of course, if you want to send in anything else, like a question that needs answering or whatever else you want to send in, please do ask your nearest whiffing wazzock, grown up, to help you email me at podcast@comedyclub4kids.co.uk. And if those same whiffing wazzocks, grown-ups, want to help support this show, they can do so by subscribing you to the advert-free Early Access Linda Edition on Apple Podcasts or patreon.com/Comedy Club for Kids. But actually, all those things are going to be changing soon, so do stay tuned for even more info. And don't forget to check out comedyclubforkids.co.uk, where we do our live shows that are suitable for your whole family. Yes, even your nan. Yes, even your weird cousin Steve who smells of pilchards. Okay, actually, maybe not Steve, especially if the weather's warm. Ugh, warm smells of pilchards. Now, this week's most importantest bit is with the brilliant Catie Wilkins, who is also known as Catherine Wilkins when she's writing her fantastically funny kids' books. And you will hear her talk about her latest book, Cafe Chaos, My Family is Not a Piece of Cake, which you should definitely check out, as it is an excellently fun, brilliant read. Oh, I'm so warm from saying all of that. So while I find a way to cool down, here's this week's most importantest bit with Catie Wilkins. I am very pleased to welcome back to Radio Nonsense, Catie Wilkins, the last remaining classical shoe player in Europe. Catie, it's so nice to have you back. How are things?
Well, thank you very much for having me. Things are slow. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, being the last one left, things are dwindling. In some ways, things are, good because I am the only one that people can book.
Yes.
But part of the reason it's dropped off is because people are much less interested in the classical shoe playing. unfortunately.
Oh, that's very sad to hear. I mean, I know that there comes with classical shoe playing. You do have to use a particular type of shoe, don't you? You can't just use your everyday sort of football trainer or something like that. It
Yes.
has to be
Yeah, and
specific shoes.
it's been obviously accused of elitism for that reason because, the shoe costs £1,000, which
Wow.
makes it quite an expensive instrument for children to learn, which is, one of the many reasons why it's become less popular.
Yes. Yeah. And do you have to buy it in a pair as well? Or is it £1,000 per shoe, or £1,000 for two shoes?
Well, they it really does depend. So basically, yes. Now, through the official channels, you do have to buy two, hence, the elitism. And then you have
Mm.
kind of got one spare, which you're actually not allowed to give or sell on, um,
Oh.
because there's very strict rules about this. But there is actually then unofficially a black market where people are doing this, and you can get them for much cheaper. But then every now and then there's raids and crackdowns. So actually, even if you're going to try and do it illicitly,
Yes.
it's quite a high risk.
Yes, and I've heard, and I should say this. I'm very, I have very limited knowledge about this subject. I wish it was something I knew. I've obviously listened to your albums. I've listened to your some of your live concerts, but I don't know a lot. But I have heard that on that kind of black market for classical shoes, sometimes you'll buy one, and someone's been wearing it for 7 or 8 months. It'll reek of cheese. It won't play quite as nicely. You don't
Yes,
really want to play it like an instrument because that's disgusting.
yes, yes. This absolutely has been happening, which is, another nail in the coffin for my once beloved industry. And it's, it's a shame. And obviously, there are going to be scammers out there. You can't necessarily trust a classical shoe that you've bought on Craigslist.
It's so sad. What a sad time. Because you do. I mean, you do play so beautifully. Am I right? You prefer the left shoe. That's correct, isn't it? Do you prefer playing the left
Yes,
shoe?
yes. I think that my spirit flows through the left shoe, I think, more authentically.
Yes. And have you? Because you did. Was the music of John Williams? I think your last concert, wasn't it? All sort of this the Star Wars theme, Indiana Jones theme, things like that. You were playing with the shoe, which was remarkable. But
Yes.
you've moved. Have you moved on now? Is that the current tour, or is there something else you aim to be
It
starting on?
is largely still the same, because people want the hits, they want the
Yeah,
classics,
of
they want
course.
things they recognize, they want to go to a classical, um, concert because that makes them feel clever. And
Mm,
then,
mm.
but when they get there, they want to recognize some of the music. Because sometimes, you see people in the audience and they're like, oh, I must be fancy. I recognize, oh, it's Jurassic Park. And you can kind of
Yes.
see it
Yeah.
dawning on them. So you have to do the kind of, the more popular tunes so that everybody feels clever.
That's a shame, isn't it? Is that what you want to be playing? Have you got an ideal? Well, you know your shoe. What's the music that you think you should be playing on it?
Well, I think the shoe lends itself perfectly to a very not such a popular musician, little known musician, known as Valti Purti.
Oh,
And he was a contemporary of Mozart. And he also obviously knew Salieri as well. Um, and they actually all hung out together. And Valti Purti did sort of kind of less crowd pleasing stuff than Mozart. And Salieri wasn't threatened by Valti Purti at all. Um, and but Valti Purti had kind of a very niche following. He was kind of what you might call cult in his day.
right, right.
And so it's kind of what is quite fun about saying you like him is that when people do, because I think sometimes people do like to boast that they've heard of
Yes,
Mozart.
yes.
And then it's quite fun to say, oh, really? Do you just like the famous ones? What about Valti Purti? And then you can kind of really one up people.
That's nice. And did Valtteri play shoes? Was that something that he did?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And there is actually a whole kind of history of, is he the originator? And it's
Wow. Wow.
controversial, because some people think the originator was Queen Anne.
Wow. Well, it would make sense because she did have shoes,
Hmm.
as far as I know.
And a lot of time
And
on her
it's one of those
hands.
things. Oh, sorry. What was
Oh,
that?
and she had a lot of time on her hands, that's all.
Yes. Well, exactly. Yeah. Well, exactly. And if you've got time in your hands, you may as well put a shoe in it and play it like
Yeah.
an instrument. And especially then as well, because I think a lot of people don't realise that obviously a classical shoe now is expensive, but back then everyone had classical shoes because they were
Yes.
classical times.
Yes, this is true. This is true. And it's a sad, sort of the dying of the art form, really.
Yes, well, it's really sad, but there are. I mean, I don't know how you feel about that. There are a lot of modern shoe players now who there are issues with people running around trying to play people's shoes without requesting that they take them off first, or it's
Yeah.
causing all sorts of incidents. But you're getting some quite interesting genres out there. Shoe and bass is one of my favourites. I think it's interesting. Obviously, it's a very different style to what you do. But are you interested in that? Do you think you'd ever change over? Do you think you could ever find I don't know, a pair of Doc Martens and play some shoe punk?
No, the thing is, I saw what happened to Bob Dylan when he went electric, and I'm just not doing it. I think,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
hardcore
that's fair.
fans that are left really do want the classics, and I would be betraying them if I went anywhere near uh, that side of the industry. And also I'd be sort of, biting the hand that feeds me, really.
Yeah, that makes sense. I admire, it's one of the reasons I have you on the show. You're such a professional, and I know it's why you refuse to wear shoes because you see them as true musical instruments and you go everywhere completely barefoot, don't you, regardless of
Yes.
what you're treading on.
Yes.
And that's dedication, I think.
It's dedication, and I'm up to date with my tetanus shots, so it's win-win.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's fine. Yeah, and am I right now? You sort of you've got feet that are so tough you could kick over a tree.
Yes. I don't know if you saw that video that went viral where I did
I did. Yeah.
and the thing was I know it wasn't a huge tree, but the trouble was I didn't realize that it was part of a new conservation enterprise. And
Right.
so
Right.
obviously I was, proving a point.
Mm.
And I admit I had a political agenda. I think too many people are wearing shoes that they don't need. But then obviously it was used against me to sort of smear my point and make me look ridiculous and, aggressive against the environment, which was really not the message I was trying to send out.
No, no, because I mean, that's the thing is you've also used your bare feet to plant many trees, and they didn't mention that even once,
No,
which I thought was outrageous.
where
Yeah,
is that
yeah,
exactly?
yeah. It should have been right next to it in the print. I mean, if you ask me, that tree you kicked over was old and needed to be moved out of the way so that other things could grow there.
I think this is what they're not telling you exactly. I
Mm.
really appreciate that you can see through the propaganda.
Yeah, well, again, I know you, I know your work, Katie, and again, I'm so pleased that you could take time out of. I'm guessing, are you busy rehearsing at the moment, or well, you said things are quiet, so
Yes, things are quiet and obviously increasingly niche. So, um, I was originally booked to do the Royal Albert Hall,
of course,
but
yeah,
then
of
when
course.
they saw the ticket sales, they decided to hire an actual orchestra.
Ah, okay.
And I was kind of taken off the bill, which was a blow, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
But I accept that. So I am now playing a much smaller venue, while still, bespoke and beautiful, but it does have a slightly unfortunate name, which is the Dungeon.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a very, very pretty, I mean, it's kind of it's got it's underground, like so many,
Mm-hmm.
London venues.
Dungeons. Yes.
You've got
Yeah.
to kind of fit everything in, haven't you, in a busy city? And it's very, very, very pretty. It's got very old walls, it's got lots of history, and they really have done a lot to try and stop the dripping. which was happening down one side.
Right, right.
And actually, if anything, I think in some ways that adds to the acoustics.
Yeah, it's lovely. I mean, can I ask, is it like a real, a dungeon? If people go in to watch you, will they ever be able to leave, or do they have to stay down there forever until they've served their sentence?
So, as far as I know, they are free to leave.
Okay,
I do think that the manager slash owner has had a few run-ins with the law. There's lots of rumors, really. I think it was more, I thought he was stealing food, so I'm not sure what he's actually been up to. I
sure.
think it's,
Okay, well that's all right. I
yeah.
mean, as long as when you go down there, as long as there's no one sort of chained to the wall, as long as there aren't any ogres, kind of checking everyone's where they're meant to be. I think
Well, no, I didn't. There is one locked room which I haven't been in where there are sometimes strange noises, but I was told it was the plumbing, so I don't
Oh, sure.
think
I'm
it is
sure
an
it is.
ogre.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I mean, if it's, yeah, these dungeons aren't really used for dungeons anymore, are they? There's no longer dragons and stuff in there, or,
No, no,
you know,
not that I've seen.
yeah. Well, good luck. Good luck. I mean, you've got your feet. Should anything occur, I'm sure you could kick your way through a dungeon.
Yes.
If needed. Yes. Wow. Well, listen. Well, I'm sorry to be interrupting your rehearsal for the dungeon schedule. Then I'm very pleased that you could make it onto this show. And of course, we've got a question that has come in that I'm pretty sure you are the person that needs to answer it. It's your expertise that's needed here, Katie. But as always, and you've been through this before, I do have a couple of admin questions that I'm afraid I
Okay.
have to ask you first. It's just legal. We've been talking about the law, but this is the legal thing for this podcast.
Okay.
I just have to ask you these. I hope that's okay. Are you all right with admin stuff?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Good, good, good. Okay. Well, the first one is that this show is listened to by people of all possible ages, except 100. They're not allowed. Long story. But every other age, even sort of Middle Ages, Bronze Age, they're fine. But just to make sure this is safe for everyone, are there any rude words that you won't be saying during this show?
Yes. You will not hear me say the word Flanstantine.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's
Uh,
quite a word. Yeah.
yeah. And I think you know why. But I will, if there's anybody that doesn't know this, that is the name of people that use flower petals instead of toilet paper.
Oh, I mean, that's horrendous. I mean,
Yes.
that's, and I mean, also it really ruins sort of garden shows and garden centres
Yes.
when these people are doing that.
It's
Um,
outrageous.
yeah, a Flanstantine. I mean, does it make your bottom smell flowery?
I think that's what they think.
Mm.
But it's just crazy to me. That's not what flowers are for.
No, it must really annoy bees as well. You think a bee's thinking there's some lovely pollen in here, and they fly in and there's a poo.
Yeah.
I mean,
The bees are up in arms. There's been
yeah.
quite a few meetings, I think.
Yes, yes. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Bees are pretty particular about what they like and what they don't like.
Yeah.
It's gonna. Why would you use a flower? And also, so many petals are very small. It's going to be. You'd have to use quite a lot. I mean, just thinking about
Yeah.
the logistics of this. If you are
It's
wiping your bum with a flower,
no, it's not a
yeah.
sensible solution. And you know, there's ways to use, environmentally friendly toilet paper without resorting to this. I just think it's a crazy solution to a problem that has a solution.
Yes, I agree. What about blowing your nose with a flower? Is that allowed?
Well, now that is plant stantine,
Right, right. Okay.
which is slightly less rude.
Yeah, the only reason I'm asking, I get hay fever, and sometimes when you're near a flower, it makes you sneeze, and then the
Yeah.
only thing you're near is a flower, but you have to wipe your
Yeah.
nose.
It's so ironic. It's a
It is.
it's a real catch-22.
It's really hard. It's hard, and it's something I try not to do. But I do think if you've made me sneeze, the least you can do is accept my
Sacrifice.
bogies.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. There's something to be said for that. It's like revenge, justice, restorative justice.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Restorative justice. Again, bees aren't happy. They fly in, it's full of snot.
No, and
They
they've got,
won't.
they've had a very hard time of things lately as it is.
Yes,
The
yes.
whole pesticides, there's been many a drama for the bees, and really it's the last thing they need.
Yes, yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't. I'm not saying I do it. I'm just saying that there have been moments where I've thought about doing it.
Yeah. Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's a plasticide is a bum
Yeah,
flower people.
flancentine mm,
Flancentine, and
is
then plancentines.
yes, yes. And
Yes,
you will not hear me saying it.
great. Well, thank you. And I definitely wouldn't say flancentine either, especially because I can't remember it and I said the wrong word instead last time. But it's an awful word. Thank you for not saying it. And any
Yeah,
listeners, please don't wipe your bum on
yeah.
flowers. It's not nice. Really ruins a bouquet.
It does.
Yeah, yeah, awful, awful. Right. Well, Katie, thank you for answering that question, and thank you for not saying Flanstantine. And the second question, the second important
Hmm.
question that I need you to answer is. Would you rather you always had a small cloud above your head that rained mint bonbons on you, or that when you were hungry, your stomach sent emails to everyone you know demanding food?
Ah, that is a great question.
Mm, mm.
Can I clarify a couple of points?
I mean, you can try. I'm giving you the information I've got, but we
Okay.
can work through it. Sure.
With the mints falling on my head, how
Hmm.
high are they falling from? Does it hurt?
That's a good question. I mean, it could potentially, if it's a small cloud above your head, it could be anywhere above, couldn't it? It could be 20,000 feet above,
Yeah.
or it could be just a sort of a foot above.
Yeah. And then if I'm indoors, is it still happening? Is it literally following me
Yes,
around?
it's always there. Yes, yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
So is it kind of a gentle pitter patter of mints, or is it actually quite I've got a sore head eventually.
I mean, we don't know if they're in their wrappers. If not, I would presume they land with more of a thud.
Right.
Mint bonbons are quite hard, or
Yes.
if they get wet, they're sticky and
Okay.
hard. So I don't think it's going to be that comfortable.
No, okay. But they're edible. I can eat them.
You can eat them. I don't know how many you would eat. Like I can see there's quite a lot falling on your head.
Yeah. I
How
mean, it would
many would you
take
want
probably
to
quite
eat?
a long time. Can I give them to other people or sell them?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, up to you. Yeah,
So
whether
I,
they'll want them when they've rebounded. I mean, again, it depends if they're in wrappers or
if
not.
we're, yeah, and we don't know if they're in wrappers.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a hard sell. Floor mints.
yeah, it
Okay.
really is. Yeah, yeah. Lovely fresh floor though.
Yeah, I mean, if I stood, in a very clean place, I might be able to gather some. Okay,
Yeah,
so every time I'm hungry, my stomach emails everyone I know to bring me food.
yeah, yes, yes.
So they might not bring me food. They've just been requested, or does it mean like so would a queue of people turn up with some quiches, or would everyone just be kind of bothered and be like, "Oh, not this again. I'm not bringing you food."
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on how. Probably the first time you might end up with a lot of quiches,
Yes.
but the 15th, 20th, 30th time, I
Yes.
guess that they're probably not going to want to make a quiche every
No.
time.
No. And does the email request what I'm in the mood for? So can I have a
Oh,
trifle? Will it always be kind of like, a tuna sandwich or a quiche or a pizza?
I mean, this is going to be down to how good your stomach is at emailing because it depends if your
Yeah.
stomach is very eloquent and knows what to ask for, or if it uses that sort of AI autocomplete. In which case, it'll probably just ask for the same thing every time because it
Yeah.
won't know how to kind of add anything new to it.
Yeah. And how hungry do I have to be to trigger it?
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, it could be just even peckish.
Yeah.
Um,
Like if I
yeah,
if I snacked non-stop, would that stop it for a bit?
yes, I think so. I think that would. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think it's also worth sort of pointing out here. It's emails to everyone you know, so it would be even sort of emails about your phone bill or emails,
Yes.
business emails or council tax email. All the really boring
Yes.
people will still get this email,
And
and
they
you might
can't
not want
block
them to.
it.
No, they can't. They can't block it. No, they can try. They would try. They
They
can't do
would
it.
try. They
Yeah,
would.
they can't.
I
Yeah,
think I'd very quickly find out who my friends were.
that's true.
I
Mm.
think I would probably lose quite a lot of friends. Um,
But you gain a lot of quiches.
I would gain, I think initially I would gain many a quiche.
Mm.
Um, hmm. I kind of think I would choose that option because it's really other people that it's bothering, not me.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair.
The
Yeah,
first
yeah,
one is directly impacting my head. Um,
yeah.
and the second one, it doesn't hurt anyone. I'm not hurting their heads. I'm just I mean, I'm hungry quite a lot. They're going to be getting up to 16 emails a day. I mean, maybe more. It's going to be very annoying.
That is
But
annoying. But you're right.
um
I mean, I think if I was just thinking the mint bonbons, it'll be above your head. But say when you go to bed, you'll be lying down, so it'll be kind of above your face, and then it will
yeah.
just like fire little mints at your face all day. Like
Yeah.
that's or night. Sorry, it won't be. Yeah,
It doesn't sound
it's not
I feel
nice.
like as well with the as much as the second one is a better option for me. I do feel like once word got out that I'm the girl that gives I'm the woman that people get emails from when she's hungry. I think people won't want to meet me because they'll be like, "Oh no, I don't need any more emails, thank you. Just stay away. I no, don't tell me your name. Go away." I think people would
I,
be averse to meeting me and then getting
I, yeah, I wonder if you'd get some really great advertising opportunity. If all these food
ah.
companies will say, could it be that you really feel like our food,
Oh,
and then all the emails would
yes.
be like, I demand a branded pasty from so and so, and then it would go
Yes.
to everyone you know. That's a
Because
brilliant
I'm
free advert.
spamming
Yeah,
everyone I know against,
yeah,
I'm not trying to do it, but I might as well make some money on the side since I can't
yeah,
help it.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
It's
so
pretty
that
handy.
that one has business venture written all over it.
Yeah, it does more than floor mints. I think more than
Yeah.
handing people floor mints.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
I'm going to turn this into capitalism.
Okay, well done, well done. That was very savvy of you, and I'm very impressed. So, and thank you for thinking it through properly, as is necessary for such an important
Yes.
question. So,
Yes.
thank you. Well, Katie, listen. Talking of important questions, this is a very important question. We've had this sent in, and
Hmm.
as I said, I think it's your expertise that can deal with this. Before I tell you the question, I need to explain who it's from. This question is from Kermit the Frog. Now, I don't know if it's the Kermit the Frog. I don't
Okay.
know how common
A
the
name
name
that is.
Kermit is
It's
in the
a
Frog.
Kermit the Frog. Or is it?
Yeah, because it's you wonder, Kermit's a famous frog. When they're like a famous pop star, a famous character, people name their children after them. So it could well be
Yes.
that Kermit, having influenced many frogs,
Yes.
people said it's.
And then do you think this Kermit has to go, "Hi, I'm Kermit the Frog"? No, not that one. My parents are just really big fans.
Yes, that's true. It could be because it could also be they might have a surname at the end of this, and then they're like Kermit the Frog Smith,
Yeah,
and then they've got to. I mean, it's probably quite exhausting for them.
yeah.
I mean, there is also the possibility, I should say, that it is the Kermit the Frog, and in which case, I'm very honoured that they
Yes.
listen to the show.
In which
Yeah,
case, big fan.
yeah, me too. Absolutely, me too. Yeah, it's. I wasn't going to lower myself to it, but one of the only impressions I can do is of Kermit the Frog. But I realise it's not the new. It's not how Kermit sounds now. He slightly reinvented himself. But it's kind of Kermit the Frog. Oh, hi there.
I love
That's how
that.
and so and I. But I'm worried if Kermit the Frog is listening that I've just mocked him, and I didn't
No,
mean to do that.
no,
So.
no ill can ever come from walking up to someone you love and doing an impression of them.
Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure you're right. That's very wise words. This is why
Yeah.
I have you on the show. Thank you so much. Well, this Kermit the Frog, they say that they are 9 manky tortoises old. I don't know how you are with your manky tortoise age range understanding,
I
but
might
it's
need that translated. I was never good at conversion rates.
yeah, tortoises can get quite old,
Mm,
and I guess they're pretty manky. They're probably quite old tortoises. So I think this person's around 324 years old.
that checks out. That sounds about
Yes.
right.
Yes, which again is then older than Kermit the Frog, unless Kermit the Frog is older
Mm.
than we. Anyway,
Who copied who?
who copied who? I'm glad that we've got the original ancient Kermit the Frog
I think, yeah, we've got the OG
writing it,
here.
which is lovely. Maybe Kermit the Frog was named after this Kermit the Frog, and that's something that we should or be
Yeah.
thinking about.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Katie, this question is big. It's a really big question. I
Okay.
hope you're feeling ready for it.
I'm
But
ready.
Kermit the Frog, good. Kermit the Frog asks, who is letting all the laser beam, glow-in-the-dark, farting frogs out of their dogs?
Okay. You have come to the right place with this question, Kermit the
I
Frog.
knew it.
I 100% have the answer to this. It is the woman who swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. Now, she is trying to distract from her indiscretion. She's really sick of everyone singing that song and teaching it to their kids, so it just never goes, oh, and then the spot of the spider, blah, blah, blah. She's absolutely had enough. So she is trying to change the narrative and to get everybody talking about these farting frogs coming out of their dogs so that no one's talking about her and how she ate half a farm.
Wow. That's a great tactic because she's gone for the most elaborate frogs she could. Laser beam, glow in the dark, farting frogs.
She's not messing around.
No, and then she's making dogs eat them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if she is putting them in. I think these farting frogs were in there of their own accord,
Oh,
and what she's doing is letting them out. But so and in fact, actually, but the genuinely the problem with this is now is to try to work out how much of it is fake news, because do we have two credible sources about these farting frogs coming out of the dogs with laser beams glowing in the dark? Now, I think that the woman who swallowed a fly, that she has had some success, but I think that some of this is hyperbole now. And I think, one person tells one person and then the story gets exaggerated. And so I think I have no doubt they're coming out of the dogs. That bit is indisputably true because that's how she's trying to change the narrative. But I question how many of them actually have lasers.
Sure.
I think she's embellishing things to try and, if she can get a better story out there, then people will be talking about that and they won't be talking about how, the horse ate the goat and all the other things that she ended up swallowing.
Yes, which does there's two things there. I suppose if the frogs did have lasers, why haven't they got out of the dogs themselves by shooting their way out using
I mean,
lasers?
they are. Well, I mean, perhaps, yeah.
Yeah, unless it's sort of medical, they're sort of doing like eye treat. Maybe they're giving the dogs eye treatment.
Yeah.
From the inside.
Yeah.
But I suppose my other question is, she's letting them out of the dogs, but for her, frogs in dogs, that's a snack already prepared, surely.
But so this is the thing. She's sick of being known for that.
Yeah.
So she wants to be known for the opposite now. She wants everyone
to just
go on.
Or was it just the once that this was it just the one shit? Because you're saying she's sick of being known for that, but does she? I know about the one incident, and obviously we've all talked about it. Was it just that once? Has she continued to do that? Is this, or is it that one time and now she's trying to cover it up?
Yeah, I think it's kind of, the one-hit wonder of scandals, isn't it? And it's, she also enjoys poetry. She's also quite good at ballet, but no one's talking about that. She speaks French. No one's talking about that.
Wow.
She once helped an old lady cross the road, even though she's old herself. She's with the ballet. She's quite sprightly, which is also, obviously she's very healthy. That's how she was able to ingest all of these animals and not die. She hasn't died. Perhaps, obviously the song says perhaps she'll die because they're hedging their bets. They don't want to get sued. They've kept that song just within the lines of defamation. Because she did do those things. So she can't sue them. She can't make them stop. So she's out of options. So she's like, right, look at this. If this is, you like it when animals are going in and out of other animals, how about this?
Yes. I mean, I worry, that if this doesn't work, soon she'll be making other, freeing other animals from other animals. It could get quite chaotic.
I think it could. It's flashes of the Joker from Batman. It's kind of giving as well. I do think I don't want to say unhinged. I think she's got a plan. I just think that she's so sick of what's been happening that she might not have thought everything through.
Yes, yes. I mean, it's a really. Do you know what? Like you say, it really sort of smells of she's just doing anything she can to get rid of
Yeah,
this reputation. She's really gone all out,
yeah,
releasing frogs from dogs. Oh,
yeah,
yeah, good for her, I suppose. It's
yeah. She's
you know,
tenacious.
yeah. I mean, it's not like the I will think of her for this, whereas the old lady lives in a shoe. I'm still, what's she doing? What's she doing to get out of that
She's
reputation?
done nothing to change that narrative. I think, if anything, it suits her quite well.
Yeah, yeah. So good for this. Good for the one who swallowed the fly. Then I mean,
Yeah.
no, not swallowed the fly. Let the frogs out of the dogs.
Yes, she's done two things now.
Two things. Yes, yes. I mean, I do hope she's known for her ballet one day, though. That's
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of sad, isn't it? People chase fame, and then the thing that they wish they were famous for is not the thing they end up being famous for.
Yeah, it's a hard world out there,
It's
and
brutal.
I hope that this answers Kermit's question, and perhaps I mean especially as Kermit is a frog, I don't know if they're wary of seeing their farting relatives, or perhaps they were
Yes.
worried where they were. I don't know what angle they've taken that.
This one maybe hits home a little bit for Kermit the Frog.
Yes, a little bit hard,
Got a vested
but I hope
interest.
it's yeah. I hope it's a reassuring outcome. That's what
Yeah.
I want. But we will see. Well, listen, thank you, Catie. That's exactly the sort of expertise that this question needed, so I really appreciate that. And I suppose I should say, obviously, as people not being known for what they're famous for, the old lady not being known for ballet, and instead for this, you are a classical shoe player, but
Yes.
I understand that you have a book out at the moment.
Yes, I have many strings to my bow. Hey, shoe. Um, and I do. I'm also a children's author. I write under the name Catie Wilkins, and I have 8 books out at the moment. And my newest book just came out in March 2025, and it's called Cafe Chaos: My Family and Not a Piece of Cake. And it's a very funny book for 8+ readers. And it's the story of Hope Crumble, whose family run a busy cafe called Cafe Crumble, which is their surname. They love puns. They decided to lean into it. And so Hope's about to start secondary school, and her family are just quite bonkers. This cafe is busy, but it's sort of struggling a bit financially. So everyone's working loads. No one's got any time for Hope. And they keep having all these family meetings to try and work out ways to make more money. And everybody's arguing. So Stacey, Hope's older sister, Stacey, who's 19 and wants to be an actress, and she's always saying to the customers, "I'm actually an actress." Um,
It's
she's
another
when they
example there of not being known for what you're famous for. There you go.
exactly. And so whenever they have these meetings, she's always trying to put on a play to make more money. And then Hope's 16-year-old cousin Connor lives with them as well. And he wants to be a millionaire businessman. So he keeps throwing around business terms, trying to get everyone to synergize. And all these different arguments keep happening. So her mum has a business degree and runs the cafe. Her dad is the head chef. Her grandma's the baker. And then she has a best friend who's brilliant and a nemesis who keeps trying to embarrass her in front of people. And then one of the ways that the family try to make more money is to get Hope to dress up in a giant ice cream costume and give out flyers outside her school in front of all her bullies, which is not what Hope wanted to do. But her best friend Leela won't let her do it alone. So she goes and gets an ice cream costume and they do it together. And I've actually probably given away quite a lot of the plot, but not all of the plot. So please.
It sounds amazing. It sounds absolutely amazing. And I should say, yeah, I have to try. I said you've got a book coming out, but I should have said a new book because you have got
Oh, yeah.
several books already out. But it sounds really exciting, Cafe Chaos, particularly now that I know that Hope has to dress up as an ice cream in it, which has it very dangerous in hot weather as well.
Yes.
People see a giant ice cream in front of them
Yes. Like a
on a sunny
mirage.
day. Yeah, well, exactly. It could be really dangerous. Well, that sounds amazing, and all of our listeners should check that out straight away. Thank you so much, Catie. And listen, very excited about the book, but obviously, good luck with playing in a dungeon, playing the
Yes.
show in a
And if
dungeon.
anyone fancies coming to a dungeon to listen to me play the classical shoe, please come on down as well.
That'd be great. I would say I'll be there, but I'm quite scared of going to dungeons, so
Fair.
I won't be there. Yeah. Thank you. Cool. Take care. We'll hopefully see you soon.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Huge thanks to Catie Wilkins for popping into the show in between all of her big classical shoe concerts to help answer Kermit the Frog's question. Kermit, I do hope you liked your answer, but if not, why not send any complaints you have by farting frog, who'll then escape, and I'll never have to hear it. Katie's latest book, as Catherine Wilkins, not Catie Wilkins, is the brilliant Cafe Chaos. My Family is Not a Piece of Cake. And I'll pop a link to the book in the podcast blurb. Do get your whiffing wazzocks, grown-ups, to grab you a copy, as it is excellently funny. It's so very funny. I cannot recommend it enough. Also get those same grown-ups to help you email me any questions you need to have answered or anything else you like at all at podcast@comedyclubforkids.co.uk. And of course check out our website comedyclubforkids.co.uk for all of our live shows too. And as you'll hear, I probably sound very cool. Yeah, that's right. I just made some sunglasses out of all the avocados I have now, and immediately just wearing sunglasses, that's made me much cooler. I'm so cool right now. I might wear a cool jacket too, and I might just go point at a motorbike. Hey, cool bike. Yeah. That's nice. That's so much better than the heat. I am here from the Comedy Club for Myths to take away all your avocados. No, wait! Oh, my sunglasses, and now I'm too warm again. Why did you do that, you horrible wizard? I already sent Gordon away, back to Comedy Club for Myths. Isn't that enough? Who's Gordon? You mean he wasn't one of your listeners? No, I've never heard of a Gordon before. I've heard of a Globler, the ever-silly. Does that help? Not in the slightest. And amazing. In which case, you know what? You can have all of these avocados that are actually potatoes painted green. Gordon, come back. Wait, they're not even avocados? Boo and hiss. Gordon, quick, welcome back. Have these mints. I need some cool air straight away.
On it.
That's so much better. In which case, I wonder just which Comedy Club for Myths listeners they mean. Well, I'd better not worry about it.
Why do these mints all have little goblin hats and little goblin faces and little goblin legs and arms? Oh well, never mind. They are delicious.
Uh-oh. Bye.
You have been listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense. It's the end.